Right, thank you. Now you have to listen. Yesterday, I'm sorry, I explained the concept. Listen to me. I explained the concept that when you write off depreciation on your old equipment or your old vehicles, you have to make 100% sure that you do not write off too much depreciation. What does that mean? It means that if the cost price is 100 Rand and the accumulated depreciation on that vehicle, for example, is already 95 Rand. And this year's depreciation is 10 Rand. You cannot write off the 10 Rand because if you write off the 10 Rand, then you're going to have a cost price of -5 Rand. Remember that? And no fixed asset can have a carrying value of a minus. So yesterday we saw that in our example, in this exercise, the depreciation, the cost price of the old vehicle was 330,000. The accumulated depreciation on that vehicle was 300,000 Rand at the start of this year. So the carrying value at the start of this year was 30,000. That's what it's worth in your book. Carrying value is what it's worth in your bookkeeping system. Do you understand that? Then we had to calculate the depreciation. We saw that that is the depreciation for this year. And that was more than what the carrying value is. Can you see that 49,500? That is more than the carrying value of 30,000. If that means if you now want to write off the 49,500, you're going to sit with a carrying value of a minus amount. Do you understand that? That means if you want to sell that vehicle according to your bookkeeping system, that vehicle is worth minus 19,500. Which means if you want to sell it, you will have to tell whoever wants to buy it, listen, I know it's worth a minus amount, but will you still pay me? Do you think anybody is going to pay you for something that you say is worth less than nothing? So that is the reason, the principle is that we cannot write off more than 1 Rand carrying value. So if our carrying value is 30,000 Rand, we can only write off 29,999. That was the principle you had to learn yesterday. Is there anyone who has a problem with this? Anyone? Are we okay? Are we fine? Right. You had to do the accounts, is that right? There was nothing new in vehicles because that balance included the new vehicle. In equipment, I'm going to balance total this. Remember, if there's entries on one side only, I need to total. That gives me 61,000, no line underneath. The accumulated depreciation on vehicles account, I have to write in this year's depreciation. The account, other account concerned will be depreciation. We already know the amount because we've done the calculation there. We said it's 61,999. That was the depreciation that we can write off on the old one, plus the depreciation for 8 months on the new one, 61,999. Are you okay with that? No, how many days in June? It must be the last day of the year. Must be the 30th of June. It must be the 30th of June. Can't be the 28th. If the 28th, then that it's a typing error on the information. It can. Remember, you do this on the last day of your year. If the last day of the year is the last day of June, then it will be 30 June. Do you understand that? I need to total here. I only need to total if I have entries on one side only. This year is your credit entry. You by now should know this. Somewhere there must be a debit. The debit is going to be in my depreciation account. I'm going to write this in red so that you can see it's the same thing. The date was 2022. It was June the 30th. The other account concerned is accumulated depreciation on vehicles. And the amount was 61,999. Are we fine with this, people? We have to do the same with accumulated depreciation on equipment. Let's make that a different color. Let's make it purple. The date we are going to do this is the end of the financial year, which is 22 June the 30th. The other account concerned is depreciation. And I'll leave the A out again. And the amount, let's go to our calculation. We've done this yesterday already. The calculation said it was 2,240 Rand on the old equipment, and on the new equipment 575. So you had 2,815. That's your depreciation on the equipment for this year. It's a balance sheet account. A balance sheet account must be totaled if there's entries on one side only. And if there are entries on both sides, it must be totaled and balanced. Remember, don't forget you're not allowed to draw a line underneath the total. If you do, too bad, so sad, no marks for you, because then you do not understand the principle involved. That same amount must be in your depreciation account. I just want to get it purple and bold so you can see. I'm not going to write June and the 30th again because it's still the same day. And the amount was 2,815. Are we okay? Are we fine? Right, now we get to the nominal section. Mr. Gerber, are you paying attention? In the nominal section, there may be no balances. So this account, I need to total. How do I total? Total blocks on both sides because there is more than one amount. And I know there can be no balance. So let me just quickly total. It was the 61,999 plus the 2,815. Do you also get 64,814? Same total on the opposite side, 64,814. Date. This I have to close this off. Remember, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to have any nominal accounts at the end of the financial year. I'm going to close them all off to my final accounts. There are two final accounts, as you by now know. This was June the 30th. The one is the trading account. The other one is the profit and loss. Trading account is where you calculate the gross profit. Gross profit is sales. Sales is sales minus debtors allowances, remember, and cost of sales on the other side. And then the other account we're going to use will be your profit and loss. And this must go to profit and loss. And the amount we're taking to profit and loss is 64,814. In my profit and loss, I now need to record the fact that there is depreciation. This is 2022, June the 30th. This is the depreciation. And the amount 64,814. Did you notice every 64? Did you notice that every time there's a double entry, which means somewhere you're going to debit one account, somewhere else you're going to credit another account? Are you all right with this? Are we fine with activity 4? Because the next one is activity 5. Now you must be on the lookout for this principle that you cannot have a fixed asset with a negative carrying value. Now, okay, that's homework for tomorrow, activity 5. Activity 5 is homework for tomorrow. First of all, do your calculations. You do the accounts, but write in pencil, because remember, the entries are all going to be the same. You're going to have depreciation here. If your amount is wrong, you can just erase the amount and put the right amount in. Are we all okay with this? Let me quickly go to activity. Okay, but I just need to do this. If I want to go to activity 5, let's read that quickly. Oh, I must hand it out. Activity 5 is here somewhere on my table. Here's activity 5. Will you please hand out activity 5? Yeah. I'm going to get mine here as well. I just need to share the screen again. I'm going to put the video on the group. Don't you worry. I just want to get it. I want to share. Stop sharing, and now I want to share again. It will just take a little while because I have to change it into a YouTube video. On? What? Which one? Okay, you must come and show me because I can't go back now. Otherwise, I'm going to lose this from the recording here. Come and show me what your problem is. Why are you now over there? What is your problem? Yeah. And this problem is profit loss and loss. It's June the 30th. And that's right. What do you want to fix?
No, I just wanted to see something.
But this is right. It is right what you've done. It is right. You have to add those two. It's 100% right. Right, people, can we please have a look at activity 5? Thank you. I need the extras because there are people absent. Thank you, Tyler. In activity 5, I want you to have a look at the information first of all. Can you see that the balances are given on 30 September 2022? Can you see that? That's the first thing, which means that unless they tell you otherwise, the balances that they supply is on 30 September. The vehicles one, is that balance on 30 September? No, because they told you something else. So that means this balance cannot include any new vehicles because the balance is at the start of the year. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Then there's equipment. What is the balance of the equipment? What is the date? 30 September, which means it will include new equipment unless you were told they did not record it yet. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What do you need to know about the accumulated depreciation accounts? It's always at the start of the year. Are we okay with this? Then let's have a look at the information. We buy a new vehicle cash, cannot be recorded yet because this balance is on 1st of October and we bought this on the 1st of January 22. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Then bought new equipment on credit in March 2022. Do they tell you that it has not been recorded? So that means that new equipment is part of the balance. Do you understand that? Right. And then there's the depreciation. Right. Again, old and new, old and new. Are you okay with this?
Yes.
Are you fine? Can I switch off?
Yes.
Homework for tomorrow, please. I'm going to put the link to the YouTube video on the group.